Nathan Ivey.com. Mr. Ivey know the show must go on. And far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, close fish, yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the 10th place, let's be about it. Who got the info about it? Hey, yo, Jono be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't got to okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Grippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati Reds at. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 5-1-3, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Where my people at? Getting the show started nice and quick. You got me for about an hour to 90 minutes. Thank you so much for the shares already. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Just getting started. Wow, just got a few people on the stream. Let's take a couple minutes and allow people to find us this morning. It's a beautiful, very beautiful Monday morning, a momentous morning, hopefully. Hopefully you had a great weekend. I know I did. And I'm ready to flow. Other people talk, I flow. Okay? I'm no longer a talk show host. I'm a flow artist. Good morning to you. If you want to share your thoughts this morning, 513-873-7134. To kick things off, I want to talk about when Black women support Black men. I also want to give you some updates on the Ukraine. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody's watching it. Is it going to lead to Armageddon? And there's some streaming gems. I'm a little disappointed in the audience. I am disappointed because nobody told me about these gems that are on some of these streaming services. But I got a chance to catch up. I had some things on my list. Got a chance to at least spend, I think I watched one episode of one. And yeah, I watched the first episode of a couple series. I'm like, I like this. I want to share with you this morning. 513-873-7134. I waste my time and my money, so you don't waste your time and your money. Let me do that. That's what I do. Good morning to you. You can always connect with us by giving us a call. I just gave you the number. But you can always join the chat, a.k.a. the Troupe. And there's multiple ways to do that. Like if you're an audiophile kind of person, jump over to Spreaker. Or maybe tune in. Good morning to my people on Spreaker. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. Happy Monday. Fox writes, rise and shine, young stars. The white-on-white crime, Russia versus Ukraine, has to stop. Uh-oh. CG Dub writes, good morning, Choppers. Ray writes, good risings all. Good morning. That's for the book, huh? White-on-white crime, is that what we calling it now? Oh, boy. We all going to hell. Good morning to you. How was your weekend? Did you get a chance to relax? Did you get a chance to plug in to your family? Did you get a chance to go out? Did you get a chance to catch up on work? Work, right? Some people, the work never ends. If you're a hustler, there is no time off. You don't get no days off when you hustling, when you grinding. If you're an entrepreneur, you never get days off. There are no days off when you're an entrepreneur. You work every damn day. Every damn day. Good morning to you. And say it again. Early risers rule the world. You got to get up early. You only got so much time in a day. Can't do everything between 9 and 5. You get home after work. If you have children, guess what? The next 4 hours are dedicated to them. Then you pass out in the bed, you get up, you repeat the whole damn cycle again. You got to get up at 5. Got to get up at 4:30. Got to get up early before the competition. They sleeping. They slumbering. They're comfortable. You are not comfortable until you get to your goal. That's why early risers rule the world. They get up early. They're plotting in the darkness. They watch the sunrise. That's what early risers do. with my early risers, to get up, to get that exercise in. You know what I'm saying? Get the body going. That's what you got to do. Good morning, everybody. So on Saturday, I got a chance to go over to the Black Women Cultivating Change event put on by Ashley Glass. And I thought it was a great event. And basically, it was Black women showing support for Black men. I thought it was beautiful. I had never been to this bar. It's a bar over there. Is that Central Avenue or it's Harrison Avenue? It's either or. I'm not sure what the exact address is, but is it a OTA Arts? Arts on the Ave? First time I've been there, I follow them on Instagram. They always seem like they're busy. They always seem like they got some cool shit going on. Always. It's like an art gallery, but it's also a bar at the same time. Good morning to you. It's an art gallery and a bar. First time I've ever been there. I've seen a lot of stuff they do on Instagram. It looked dope. And we had a good time. So shout out to Ashley Glass. I'm not sure if she's listening. Hopefully she is, but I want to give that sister a lot more props. She was my guest on Friday, along with a couple of the brothers that were going to be on the panel. I was on the panel just giving as much as I could. You know, I ain't no damn expert, but if you ask me, I'm an expert on me in my life. And if in any way I can be helpful, I want to be helpful. I'll say it again. Anybody that's trying to move the needle for us, I'm with it. In this city, I'm with it. I'm with the business. But I thought that it was some really powerful commentary, some really, really powerful commentary. You know what I'm saying? I even picked up this shirt. What up, Don? Be a man. Now, apparently I said this, and again, I've been told this over the years that people listen to this show and they get all kind of ideas. It is what it is. That's what the influencer means, right? Some will give you credit, some won't. But I must have said this at some point. He said, I'm going to make some t-shirts. He made the t-shirt and gave it to me. He reads, be a man. I love that. Be a motherfucking man. Not just a male. Because you got a penis, that makes you a male. Don't make you a man. We'll talk about it sometime in the near future. But back to the event on Saturday, I thought it was good. Some really powerful commentary from the brothers. And I'm hoping that Ashley takes this. I think it's what her plan is to create a documentary, much like she did with Black females. I'm with the business. I'm with it. I love the idea of it. And if I can, I'll participate. And as we get closer to that, I'll let you know where you can check it out. Now, she did this with Black women surrounding imposter syndrome, but now she's back. If I remember correctly, I think what she wants to do is turn this into a nonprofit to serve this audience. And I'm with it. When Black women support Black men, that's that superpower right there. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We got to make sure we support the sisters as well, though. Absolutely. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. If you want to share your thoughts this morning, let me throw a disclaimer up because I might be sharing some different media and things like that. Want to make sure we don't have any copyright issues with these mofos out here. And as I'm looking at my connection right now, my connection is fluctuating. So if we go out, I'll come right back. Something happens, I'll be right back. Good morning to you. Can you hear me and see me well? Give me a thumbs up. Hey, what's up, Naisha? She said many claps to Ashley. Let me see. Nate, have you seen the reports of the Ukrainian people blocking African Black people from the border from boarding trains to escape the war? I have seen it. Somebody said there's some static. Are you picking up static? I wouldn't be surprised because on my end, I'm seeing not the usual strength of connection. So if you're having some static issues, please let me know. I'll see what I can do about that as the show is going on. Push come to shove, I'll stop this stream and restart it again. But if we are having some static issues, I'm not surprised. Hold on, give me 1 second before we get too deep. Before we get too deep in the show, let me take a quick little break real quick. This is unusual, but I just want to make sure you have a great listening experience. Sit tight. I'll be right back. All right, good morning to you. I think that I have addressed the issue. I think I figured out what the issue was. So just let me know if you're still hearing any static or any issues or anything like that. All right, I'll try my best to do what I can when I'm on the air. There's some using the software that I'm using. I use something called Restream. If you ever want to stream and do some of the overlays and stuff, just let me know and I'll send you a link so you can get some money off. They'll give me a kickback, you'll get a kickback, and you can check it out for yourself. So with this particular software, there's only so much you can do when you're live. But hopefully that's addressed the issue. Hopefully so. A bar with artwork, it sounds bougie. Applebee's. No, it's dope. And I think you can buy the artwork. I mean, follow them on Instagram and check it out for yourself. They do all kind of stuff down there, man. They do all kinds of events. Some of them are related to spirits, liquor, drinking, adult stuff, and some are not. You know, like this event. Is it black owned? I'm not sure. No static. Thank you, Daryl. Yeah, I was able to address it. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate you, FG. Appreciate it. And all the folks that told me that. Yeah, it's dope, though. I wish it was bigger, but it's dope. It's dope. What's up, Big Ant Jones? Good morning. Tune in is good for now. What up, Big Ant Jones? What's up with you, Big Ant? Tune in is good for now. Okay, cool. Cool. I mean, like I said, I know people go to tune in because I see the numbers, and I'll always keep that stream open. Eloise writes, good morning. Happy Monday. Good morning to you. We got Flo Debo in the house. What's up, Flo Debo? Donald Trump / Tim Scott 2024. Stop laughing. Yes, fucking hilarious. Excuse my language. Ooh, here I go. But yes, I did. To go back to a question, somebody asked me, did I see that the Ukrainian people were blocking Africans from leaving? I did see that. Racism abounds, even in the middle of a military conflict. Racism abounds. We may get into it this morning. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Mika's in the house. She writes, good morning, choppers. I want to give a lot of props to Edna Howe Parrish. I'm not sure if you tapped into Straight Talk Live yesterday. It's a Sunday morning live stream at 10 a.m. Eastern time approximately. Typically, Edna has a guest, and there's always an interesting conversation. She had a woman on yesterday named Joe Spencer. And Joe Spencer has written many books, two of which are about slavery and racism in Kentucky, which I thought was quite interesting to hear her thought processes and some of her work. That's up on our Facebook page right now. Check it out if that's something you're interested in. And also, you can find Edna on Facebook as well, Straight Talk Live with Edna Howe. There's a lot of Straight Talk Lives out there, but only one with Edna Howe Parrish. So check it out. Very interesting conversations. And if you subscribe to the video feed from CDM on Facebook, well, then you're going to get a notification every time that any video goes live. So if you haven't done so, go ahead and do that. I thought it was a very strong, interesting conversation, sort of like a Black History Month conversation. And she's already preparing for next week as well. She got another really hot, interesting conversation already planned for you. So I don't know what you're doing on a Sunday morning at 10 a.m. If you're up, boom, tap in, say hello to Edna, and support Black voices, support independent media. You know, what we're doing here is the essence of independent media. From the ground up, we're going to get it from the mud. You know what I'm saying? Former radio professional who's been successful on every level. Public radio, successful. Commercial radio, successful. Now digital radio, successful. And so just want to parlay that into something that can be useful for our community. And we're doing just that, but we need your support. We need your help. So if that's something that, and again, you may not like every show. I don't like every show that's out there either. You may not like every episode, but, you know, I think you got to respect what we're trying to do here, what we are doing here. So just hit us with a like or a share from time to time. It means everything. If you support independent media and Black voices, because that's essentially what we are. And don't let anybody lie to you. This show has most certainly had an impact. I've said it over and over again. I'll keep saying it. And we will continue to have an impact here locally. Crystal writes, good morning. Alexis writes, good morning. Johnny writes, good morning. Good morning to you. What do you have to lose? Good morning, choppers. Oh, boy. I know you're not talking about, boy, nah. When Black women support Black men, I just want to give more props to Ashley Glass. I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was a really strong event. I thought it was a really good event. I thought the commentary, I mean, how often is it in this city? And again, there's a lot of people doing a lot of different things. I ain't trying to ish on nobody. I'm only aware of what I'm aware of. If I'm not aware of it, then I can't speak on it. If I'm not there, I can't speak on it. But you know, how many spaces do we have where Black men can talk about mental health, which is so huge? And I thought all the brothers gave very interesting commentary and advice on this particular issue. And I tried to help as much as I can. I just want to make sure that I can be useful, that I can be useful to the whole situation. But I thought it was a really, really strong event. It's very interesting being in space like that, primarily black folks. There was a few of the others sprinkled in, but probably allies. So that's the kind of room I like to be in. It's the kind of rooms I love to be in. The wifey came with me as well, so that was always a good time. And I just want to put you up on game. I want you to understand what she's doing. She's not done. The next steps will be unveiled, when she's prepared to do so. But I respect her, and I respect what she's doing. Yeah, my man Sean and his lovely wife were there. Yeah, Sean, good to see you, bro. Yeah, it's my brother from another mother right now. Kindred spirits. We kind of think very similar on some issue, but he was there in the house. He said good things. I'm always just real about it. I ain't splitting the atom. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Malcolm X. I try to do what I do. I want to be useful as much as possible. Brent writes, much love and respect for CDM and other black-owned media platforms. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, everybody. I respect everybody. John writes, glorious Monday morning. Cass is in the house. She writes, hey, Choppers. One of our creatives, podcaster, Melody Insights on Sundays at 5:30 p.m. She and Britt do an excellent job. Very unique perspective. You should check it out. Plug in, say hello, and see what they're talking about and support them. But good morning to you. What is he talking about? He on that Trump stuff. Man, I don't give a damn no damn Trump. I don't even want to talk about Trump until we have to talk about Trump. Other than that, I ain't with it. But, we need more of that. And again, I can't say that those spaces don't exist in the city of Cincinnati because they absolutely do. You got a lot of good people who are in some cases connected and in a lot of cases disconnected, who are working for the betterment of our community on multiple levels. Some are doing it in terms of mental health. Some are doing it in terms of health and wellness. Some are doing it in terms of home ownership. Some are doing it in terms of like social justice, criminal justice. Some are doing it in terms of promoting entrepreneurship. Some are doing it in terms of promoting home ownership. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Because of the seat I sit in, I can see a lot of this stuff. And that's why I say the city of Cincinnati is on the come up. I'll say it again. We have nowhere to go but up. We've got nowhere to go but up. And I see all these seeds being planted around the city. Now, will they grow into something meaningful? They can, with a lot of intentionality, a lot of nurturing, a lot of love. Got to water it, give it sunlight, all that kind of stuff, cut the weeds, got to do all that kind of stuff. But we have the potential. Now, will we reach our potential? I can't tell you, but it's there. It's absolutely there. Joy writes, CDM, good morning. Thank you so much, Joy. She's on YouTube. Thank you for being here. Sakina's in the house. She writes, good morning, Nathan. Hey, good to see you, Sakina. Sakina, like that name. Good morning, everybody. So over the weekend, of course, I'm watching all of the information coming in about the Ukraine, like everybody else, looking at my television screen, wondering what's going to happen next. There seems to be a general consensus. I've got a better understanding of what Putin is trying to do and why this is happening. There's just so much media out there. Like, how could you not? And I came across a couple of videos on YouTube where they were breaking down the history of the Ukraine and Russia and leading up into, what Putin is trying to do. And I saw another video that talked about the relationship between China and Russia. And then I saw another video in which they were talking about how the major countries are making a play for Africa. Like, all of this stuff is on some levels connected. It was very, very interesting. So I got a better understanding of what's going on now. And I love it. I'm with it. I'm reading that Cincinnati Mayor Avtab Purivar will speak at a march for the Ukraine. I think that's going to be later today. It looks like Cincinnati. It's going to be at Fountain Square today at 3 p.m. There's going to be a march from Fountain Square to Cincinnati City Hall. How long is that? That's a nice little walk. It's going to be a march. Are you going to be participating? There's a march today in support of the people of the Ukraine. Hell, the governor is saying that he doesn't want people to purchase vodka from Russia. The organizers said on a Facebook post that the purpose of the march is to raise awareness as well as help people in the Ukraine by any means. By any means. I've seen some people on Facebook say, nah, this ain't our business. This ain't our business. We need to take care of the homeless people that are here in Cincinnati first. America first type of thing. Where are you on this debate? 513-873-7134. I ask again, like, how involved should we, the United States, get? Is this really our fight? You tell me. Victoria writes, good morning. Sean writes, explain. I can break it down for you in a second. Alexis writes, I saw videos of the weekend and I was very disturbed by what I saw. I was confused also. Jeffrey writes, good morning, Mr. Nate Ivey and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Kelly writes, good morning. Tiffany writes, nope. After I saw those videos of how they are treating the African students in the Ukraine, yeah, I wondered about that. I saw the African students being pushed away from boarding trains in the Ukraine, and I wondered if that was going to sour the attitudes of Black Americans, of African Americans. Chris writes, that is the governor of Texas. That is the place where they make Tito's. That is a plunge to build his state tax. Is that right? No, I mean, it's the governor of Ohio as well. Let me see if I can find the article for you. It's the governor of Ohio as well. And he's urging, I guess that would be bars or whoever would buy these kind of things. He's urging people to not buy a certain brand of like Russian vodka. So now you're not buying Russian vodka? Okay, great, whatever. Here it is. DeWine Calls for Peace orders the state to stop selling Russian vodka. Governor Mike DeWine, who still has no spine, the spineless wonder, Mike DeWine, declared yesterday a day of prayer for the Ukraine across Ohio after, at the same time, a full-scale Russian invasion is going on right now. Quote, we condemn this violence and threats to innocent civilians. You know, it was always very interesting because some would argue that there are threats to violence to innocent civilians going on right here in this country. I mean, here is Mike DeWine, who has no spine, talking about national days of prayer and we condemn violence. And a Black man got shot at Walmart and he was basically afraid to do anything. At that point, he was state attorney general. Fought hard to make sure that the video wouldn't be released. When the video was released, what we saw was that this brother did nothing wrong. He was an innocent civilian. It's just amazing how innocent civilians get butchered, get manhandled, get maced, get shot by mistake. Oops, my bad. I thought it was a taser. We give a little bit of sympathy. But when it happens 1,000 miles away, it's like, oh, we got to march. It's the worst thing ever. Of course, people march here in the States. But I'm talking about the response that we get from some state officials, some governmental officials. Is it just me? I don't think so. But back to this, the governor also directed the state's Department of Commerce to stop buying and selling Russian standard vodka. So no more Russian vodka will be purchased by the state of Ohio. Okay. I mean, I'm down. I'm with it. I'm with the business. But I wish that people would view some of the things that happen as this country with the same lens that we're looking at things that are happening in the Ukraine and when these atrocities are committed in around the world. I mean, there's atrocities that happen here. There's atrocities that happen here. Kevin writes, Mike DeWine did something right for once. We can give him credit for that without blowing it out of proportion. So you think I'm blowing out of proportion? I don't think so. Good morning to you, Kev, on the sale. I don't think so. I don't think so. So he did something right for once. Okay. That's what we're saying. Okay. But you got innocent citizens that get manhandled, maced, detained, killed, shot, beaten. They're innocent by the police, which are representative of our local government, right? Shannon's in it. How she writes, how is it that we can always identify violence and injustice when it's not here? Thank you. Correctamundo, Shannon. That's what I'm talking about. You know, I'm not saying that Putin's some kind of good guy and that he needs to be protected. All I'm saying is what Shannon just said. It's all wrong to me. You know, to me personally, you know, what's happening in Ukraine is just as bad as what happened to that brother at Walmart. I don't see no difference. He's dead. He was innocent. The cops got off. Mike DeWine, who was the U.S. Attorney General at the time, was a part of the cover-up. But now he's got all this sympathy for the Ukrainians. I'm not saying we shouldn't have sympathy. I'm just being black in America with it. I'm just saying. Can't just be me. What do you think? Kevin says I'm blowing it out of proportion. Maybe he's right. Eric writes, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Thank you. How America responds to this will send a message to the rest of the world. We are the superpower of the world. Heavy is the head. You know what, Eric? You're right. But what I would also say is how America responds to the injustices here in this country is a message to the rest of the world. Shit, we needed somebody to come in and invade America and save our ancestors from the Holocaust, the slavery. That would have been something. Like, what if during the Holocaust of Africans who were enslaved in this country, another superpower was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. You ain't going to do that to one of God's children. We coming in. That would have been interesting. That would have changed history, maybe. Micah writes, a local bar here in Ohio said they pulled Russian vodka and will no longer purchase them. Okay. Yeah, but my thing is, why did it take this? You know, Putin's been killing journalists. He's been killing opponents, critics. Going back to 2016, they were in bed with the Bush. They were in bed with the Trump administration, and we were the victims of their cyber warfare attack. But it took this. We shouldn't have. Some could make the argument, maybe I'm making an argument right now, that we should have been supporting Russian vodka anyway. Why were we supporting it anyway? You can make that argument. I'm here to make you think this morning, just to stir that pot a little bit. Can I stir the pot a little bit? Alexis writes, those are the videos I saw of the African, a video of a black female being pushed off the train, but another female was allowed to board. I think I saw that video as well. Yeah. But these are the same people that we supposed to feel sympathy for? Okay. I mean, listen, I think that when people are oppressed anywhere in the globe, then we, good people, United States or anywhere, should do something about it. But that includes us. That includes United States citizens. We are so arrogant as the U.S., like we always get it right. We ain't no damn moral authority. This country's no moral authority. When did we become the moral authority of the world? We're in no position to do that. All the dirt, all the pain and misery, all the evil that this country has committed. But it is what it is. It is what nobody wants to hear that right now. I know. It's all about Russia's bad, U.S. good. I get it. People want things to be black and white. You don't need me muddying the waters or blurring the lines. I get it. Go back to sleep. I get it. Lemmy writes, good morning. Good morning to you, Lemmy. Elaine's in the house. Good morning, Elaine. Good to see you. Brian's in the house. What's up, man? GSW, the Mavs came back on you last night. 21 points. And the Lakers got booed off the court. That Russell Westbrook trade, just a sidebar right now, because this ain't really a sports show, but me and Brian, we both like the NBA, so we talk a little bit about it. But And I saw those lovely pictures you posted of your wife, man. I hope your business is doing well. He does photography. I know a bunch of folks do photography. I wish everybody the best. And that Russell Westbrook trade will go down as one of the worst of all time. Of all time. Anthony's in the house. What's up, brother Anthony? He writes, I always ask myself, what are the people with certain opinions on things that happen around the world are doing to push the narrative on issues here? They always say we need to address issues here when a worker issue comes up. Dee's in the house. She writes greetings. Janice says absolutely to Eric. Good morning to you. Listen, I want to say this one more time before we get away from this. When Black women support Black men, it is a powerful thing. And when Black men support Black women, it is a powerful thing. I was at an event and I'm sitting there like, this Black woman created all of this. She put this together for the benefit of Black men. And I don't know Ashley like that, but just being around her and talking to her a little bit, I mean, she 100% genuine. Like she looked at the city, she looked at the issue and thought, I think I can address this for our benefit. It was beautiful. Being loved by Black women is a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to absorb it all in. So if you missed it, I don't know if they live stream. You know, as I was sitting there, I was thinking, I was like, gee, I hope she live streamed it. I mean, hope she recorded this because, you know, so the way it worked is they had several speakers that came up and then they had a panel discussion. I don't know if she recorded all of it, but that would be valuable to record it all, do a little bit of editing, put it up on Facebook or social media for all time. So anybody who wasn't there, who might be interested, can still tap in and get some of that knowledge. It was very, very powerful. So many powerful things. There was a brother there who said that he is the only Black therapist in the Northern Kentucky area. The only one. The 3 counties that you would call Northern Kentucky, he said he's the only Black therapist in Northern Kentucky. I'm like, what? But then a brother, and again, I got his card. I'm going to invite him on the show, hopefully sometime this week. So he was just full of a lot of information. All the brothers shared a lot of information from their own unique perspective. I thought it was very, very valuable. The wifey and I even took the conversation back home, and we continued the conversation over the weekend just about what we heard and some of the feelings that it evoked. But just it was worth my time. It was really, really, it was worth anybody's time to be there. So again, shout out to her. When Black women support Black men, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. If we could come together, man, like there's a lot of Black people in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is like silos to me. Like you have a silo here, a silo here, a silo here, a silo here. So I can't say that Black folks ain't working together, but it's like a silos. Like if you're in their clique, right? Cool. You got another clique and another clique, and people are all doing great things. But man, if we could all just coalesce, should it be so powerful in a positive way for everybody? For everybody in this city. Dale writes, Republicans are funny. A week ago, they were caping for Putin. Now they're talking about they are for UA. Right, right. Oh, man. I didn't see Tom No Chin Cotton. I don't really like the guy. Brent writes, the sanctions against Russia are working. The Russian stock market fell by 50%. And 1 ruble is equivalent to 1 US cent. But what I learned over the weekend is that China and Russia have cemented a relationship. And China is an emerging superpower right behind us. They'll probably surpass us, quite honestly. And what I read is that the support that China is giving Russia may be enough to allow Russia to continue with this, even throughout these sanctions. I don't know. That's just what I saw. I didn't read it was a video. I mean, it's just so many great YouTube channels out here, man. I'm telling you, I love the time that we live in. It's just not like it was 20 years ago. There is a plethora of media options. There's a plethora of voices out there. I mean, you can tap in and listen to and view whatever you want to these days. I love it. It's where I was supposed to be. Politically Petty Podcast Show writes, did you read the editorial in the Cincinnati Enquirer ripping the Ohio Republican Party for gerrymandering the Ohio districts and not listening to 71% of the people? I did read some of it. I'm aware of it. They went hard at him, but the Ohio Republicans don't give a damn. The Ohio Republicans don't care. The Ohio Republicans are like Putin. Might makes right. When they get a majority, they don't give a damn about what 71% of people care about. All they care about is, further buttressing their power. That's it. That's all they care about. They don't give a damn about no Cincinnati Enquirer editorial. They could care less. What they care about is, in future elections, making sure that the Republicans have a majority in the state legislature, in state government. That's what they care about. And that's what they're going to do. But I did read some of it, not all of it. Good morning to you. No more. I don't think I ever drank. I don't drink anymore. When I was younger, I drank, but I gave all that stuff up after the heart attack, and I'm done with all of that. But I don't remember if I drank any of that. I might have drunk some of that once back in college. Crystal writes, because they do not have to do anything directly. Eric writes, yes, we have problems here at home, but unless you want our national language to be Russian or Cantonese, we have to flex some American muscle. Yeah, I've heard that before, Eric Lomax, and I think that's all been overblown. I mean, that was all part of the Cold War, and then we've got to expend resources across the globe because the globe is a big chessboard, and then we've got to counter every move that the Russians make, and it worked because the Soviet Union collapsed, communism collapsed because it couldn't support all of these satellite nations and blah. I've heard that before. I remain a bit skeptical about that in this scenario. I remain a bit skeptical, but I get it. Shannon writes, the rest of the world laughs at us, especially when Trump was in office. Jared writes, good point, Nathan. We sat on our hands with Putin for far too long, and now we will pay for it. Right. I mean, everybody's like, we don't want to sell Russian vodka. They attacked this country. There was a cyber attack against America in 2016. It's well documented. It's not a myth. It's facts. Why were we supporting Russian vodka after that anyway? Putin has killed journalists. He's killed critics. Like, he's killed critics in other countries. Why are we supporting Russian vodka anyway? But again, it is what it is. I understand. Micah writes, I 100% agree, Nate. I didn't understand why it was newsworthy to interview local bar owners about it. Adele writes, I'm with you 100%, Nate, but does the USA include us? That's what they say. They say it does. It's supposed to. You know, like I said, Mike DeWine's all trying to, he cares about the human spirit. He's all about peace. And when he was the U.S. or the Ohio Attorney General, his handling of that case of the brother that was killed and the Beaver Creek Walmart, you know what I'm talking about? He just walking through. You had a white male who lied on him and basically should have been in jail, but he got off too. Everybody got off. All of the criminals got off, and the innocent victim was dead. And where was Mike DeWine's concern about human life then? Oh, it's different when United States police officers are involved. Okay, it's different then. Get out of here, Mike DeWine, with no spine. Good morning to you. That's right. Call me Reverend Ivy. Bishop Ivy. I like Bishop better. Bishop just sounds more important. You know what I'm saying? Pastor, Bishop, what would you choose? I'm going to go with Bishop. Bishop Ivy. Westbrook looks like a shell of himself. What happened to him? What happened to him is that for the first time in his life, he's on a team that has championship not the first time, but for the first time in a long time, because that team he had a couple of years they had in OKC, they had championship aspirations, but he helped blow it then too. The problem with it is that Russell Westbrook is not a good team player for a championship team. You know, if you want to get a bunch of triple doubles and still rebounds from Steven Adams and still assists and still rebounds from other players, you get a triple double. But nobody was looking at this horrible play. But now he's with the Lakers. Everybody's watching because LeBron's on the team, and every detail, every play is going to be scrutinized. And that's what's happening. Now he's in his head because I don't care who you are. If you start listening to the crowd, it's going to have an effect on you. And that's what's happening. Shannon writes, no different than when the Asian hate thing was happening, everyone jumped on the bandwagon. Meanwhile, they were in China evicting Africans from their rentals and homes. Sean writes, Ashley Glass is the future of Cincinnati. I like the way you put that. I agree with you. Absolutely. Though, people like that's doing those kind of things are the future of Cincinnati. Oh, 100%. 100%. I agree with you 100%. I just have a lot of respect for anybody that's out there, trying to do something for us. Janice writes, it's merely the difference between a dictatorship and a democracy/republic. Clay was out. Draymond is soon to be back as well. We're in a better place than Cleveland. This is for you. You are. Got a chance at the championship. It should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to tell you one thing. My son has gotten into basketball, y'all. It's the best thing ever when your son is in your child, but your son, because I enjoyed a lot of like sporting events with my daughter as well. But I don't know, with a son, it's slightly different. And he's all into basketball. He's been playing this video game called 2K, right, on the Xbox. And playing a video game has taught him more about the various basketball personalities and players and how to play a game. I'm like, what? I love it. Brian writes, thank you, sir. Wifey got the free session yesterday and has already put herself on the calendar for this Saturday. One of the most powerful things it was so many powerful things that came from the event yesterday. I'm sorry, on Saturday. But one thing that I want to share with you is somebody said that people think that you got to have something wrong with you, like something is visibly or noticeably wrong with you for you to seek a therapist. I don't agree with that. I think each and every one of us should have somebody we should talk to, that we can talk to. That's not a wife, that's not a husband, that's not somebody that might judge you, that you can just like download. Don't you ever just want to download? Like, how do you download? How do you download? Like, how do you download the stress? How do you download all the things you're juggling with? Because I know a lot of folks in here, breadwinners, head of households, entrepreneurs. You're hustling every day. You're grinding every day. You're working every day. How do you download? How do you unplug from the matrix? That's all part of it. There's a lot of great things that were said. One brother said, look, when a black man tells you he needs something or he's dealing with something, believe him. Very powerful, because we're good at that with women, right? We're good at, when a woman says something, believe her. I don't know if we're the same way with black men or men in particular. Black men in general, black men specifically. Not so sure. I thought it was really, really dope. Rachel writes, good morning, family. Don writes, and I got this shirt from Don. He writes, grand day to all. Nice t-shirt, Nathan. The men's mental health event was dope. I asked if Miss Ashley, would consider hosting a men's mental health event monthly. I can see it. Or quarterly. I mean, if you've got great ideas, yeah, I'm with it. I wouldn't want to do it just for, and again, I'm in no position. She does whatever she wants to do. But from my perspective, you want to do it when you've got something to actually share, as opposed to just doing it just to say you're going to commit to do it monthly. But I was with the business. That's my kind of crowd right there. Shaba Zula writes, buy crypto. I am Shaba. Is it? Jerome, I just go with the flow here. Jerome writes, good morning, Nate and Choppers. Sister Iris is in the house. She writes, good morning, great people. No one's buying Russian vodka anyway. Somebody was. Good morning, Don. How are you? Nate, you can thank the Republicans for the United States not doing anything against the Russian re-election attack in 2016. They are in the pocket of Putin and Trump, right? Because they want to make it seem like there was no foreign interference in our election, which of course we now know it was. TNT writes, John Crawford. Exactly. Yeah, I forgot the brother's name. John Crawford III. Man, that burns me up to this day. I'll never get over that. So unnecessary. But now our governor is all about innocent victims. What about that? John Crawford III was an innocent victim. What about him? How can we care more or show more outwardly emotion for somebody in the Ukraine as opposed to somebody in Coleraine? I don't get it. I don't understand that. That don't make no sense to me. And I'm not saying we should turn our back. I'm just saying, damn, we need to see some of that love here. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Human beings are going to do what human beings do. In no way am I trying to say we shouldn't support the Ukrainian refugees, even though we saw the videos of Black folks being pushed off trains. In no way am I saying that. I'm just making a point. I'm just bringing something to your attention. That's it. Hey, what's up, Brother Kush? Terry writes, hello, everybody. Lannis writes, good morning, Brother Nathan Ivey. What's up with you? He's the coach of the Ohio Kings. Hopefully you're tapping into the Kings. Hopefully you've checked out the Kings. You went to at least one home game. Black-owned, semi-pro basketball. They play over Cincinnati State. Great time. It's a great time. Check them out. Brent writes, the problem with Russell Westbrook is that Father Time is undefeated. Yes, some of that too. You could tell he's a brother. And when I play recreationally, what I realize is some brothers out there that are just great at basketball, way better than me, although I have my time. I have my days. But his game was predicated on his physicality. And you can tell that he doesn't quite have it yet, but he hasn't changed his game. So maybe that's what it is. TNT writes, Mike DeWine was hiding video and delaying the truth of what happened. Black man shot in less than a second while holding a pellet gun he picked off the shelf of Walmart in an open carry state. What she just said. Absolutely. That's exactly what happened. And you had the family that was begging and pleading with him, along with the community, to release the video, and Mike DeWine wouldn't do it. And now he's calling for statewide days of prayer. We condemn this violence and threats to innocent civilians. Huh? What about the violence and threats to innocent civilians in Ohio? By the state. What about that, Mike DeWine? And that's an inconvenient question. Maybe it's unfair. I don't think so. Let me see here. DeWine and the Kentucky governor Bashir meet today or tomorrow at the NKY Convention Center about getting a backup to the Brent Spence. You should go get at him, Nate, and put his ass on blast. I would. I've been calling you Bishop Nate for years, Nate, because you've been preaching. LOL. Thank you, I think. I used to joke, I'm going to give me a little church. That's going to be my retirement. Give me a little church and, be a bishop, spread the word, the gospel. Anthony writes, I take it out on my supervisors at work. Is that how you download? The one thing I offered that I'll share with you this morning is, how do you show self-love? I want you to think about that. How do you show yourself that you love yourself? Because I know how life happens, especially when you start having children. You get busy. It becomes all about them. Oh, trust me and the wife are the same way. We try to get it in, but our lives are all about our children, like every other parent, right? And then if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, you're grinding and hustling, trying to get your business to where you wanted to be at. But how do you, on a daily basis, show self-love? Like, how does the love that you have for yourself manifest itself? What do you do for yourself? You don't have to put it in there. I just want you to think about it. And if you come up with nothing, well, that's a problem. I don't care how busy you are. You should be taking some time every day for you, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. I got to do this. I got to do this. They need me. He needs me. She needs me. We need me. Everybody needs me. But what about you? You need you too. You need you. Greg writes, good morning, Nate. And the choppers. Hey, good morning to you, Greg. Good morning to you, brother. Brian writes, nothing like it. To see your son start to love the things you love. Got BJ the hoop that goes on the door, bruh. He goes on it like he's actually playing against somebody. Love it. Oh, you know that love. Man, listen. Boy, look at my smile. Boy, you right, man. When your kids, primarily your son, I'm talking about son right now. When your son is into the things that you like to do, man, listen. It's like gold. There are a few things that are better than that feeling. And it's just amazing how you have children and your children grow up and they become like your hobby buddies. Like my daughter and I will never be friends. I'm her father. but we share common interest in movies and things like that. And it's just so much fun. And now that my son, he's 7 now that he's getting older, I'm starting to see, oh, he's going to be my basketball. He's going to be my sports buddy because he's all into it. He's 100% every bit a boy. Running around here talking about how he wants Lambos and Teslas. I'm like, how you learn this? You know what's so funny is that my kids are much more aware of brands than I think I was. You talking about Adidas and Nike and them. I'm like, how you learn all this? The hell? Sheila's in the house. She writes, good morning, Nathan Choppers. Hey, good morning, Sheila. Tony's in the house. What up, Tony? He writes, good morning, Nathan Choppers. Nikki's in the house. She writes, good morning. Shannon writes, I'm hosting a mental health fundraiser soon. Dr. Ross will be speaking. Okay. I love it. Let us know. You already know. The door is always open to the Choppers. Choppers support Choppers. Callie writes, good morning. Anthony writes, they say only 2 brands of Russian vodka are sold here anyway. Other may have Russian names, but are not produced in Russia. Daryl writes, Nate, don't forget to mention the black family from Pensacola, Florida. I sent you a DM. I will mention that this morning. Yeah, I appreciate it. Listen, man, or to people, not man, but listen, Choppers, I do this, but when you help, it just is so much better because I can't see everything. So if you come across news stories or maybe there's an interview or something like that or a book, I love a good book. I love to interview authors. Let me know. And I'll reach out and see if there's something interesting. I'm chasing a couple interviews this week. I want to catch up with my brother Napoleon from the group Is What? Napoleon Maddox. Remember Napoleon? Some of y'all know he's a creative. Travels the world. I met the brother Ed Waif, and we just connected. Sometimes you just Napoleon's one of them brothers that you cannot not like. You ever met a brother like that or a person like that? You cannot not like Napoleon Maddox. If you don't like Napoleon Maddox, something wrong with you. He's one of those kind of brothers. So we just clicked, stayed connected over the years, supported each other in our endeavors. The brothers travel the world. He's come on the show many times to talk about his travels and just being a black creative that travels the globe. It's just a very interesting perspective. And he's got something that he's working on this week. So I'm going to try. It's called the Underworld Jazz Festival. And I'm hoping to hook up with him maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. And he'll come on and talk about that. Also, another brother is scheduled to come on and talk with us this week as well on Wednesday. The brother's name is James Troupe. And James Troupe, I don't know him like that. We were Facebook friends. I think the wifey was kind of closer than I was. But I know he left Cincinnati to go to Los Angeles to become an actor. And so I'm watching the damn Super Bowl. I see a commercial. I see James Troupe. I'm like, what? Same thing happened AFC Championship game. I'm watching the AFC Championship game video. This commercial comes on. I see this brother from Cincinnati. So I had to reach out to him just to talk, see if he'll come on and talk about his journey and what he's doing now. He agreed. So that'll be Wednesday at approximately 9 a.m. Just to give you a heads up. I'm always chasing interviews, whether you can see it or not. So just to give you a heads up on a couple of interviews I'm chasing for this week. I'm very interested. I want to hear what's going on. Greg writes, I immigrated from the Ukraine when it was a part of the USSR. This whole thing is not all that simple. Is Ukraine good, Russia bad? That's what I've learned as well, Greg. Ukraine kept trying to join NATO. Russia sees it as a threat to its security, just as the U.S. did when the Soviet put nuclear missiles in Cuba. Yeah, I watched a video. I should have shared it to the friends page. It was so interesting. And it went way, way back and talked about the history, which I thought was very, very interesting and very helpful. And so I have a much better understanding about the history between the Ukraine and Russia, their relationship, what it means, the U.S. involvement. But then, like I said, I saw another video in which they were talking about the relationship between China and Russia and how it might impact what's happening right here. I think it was Fareed Zakaria, or I think that's what it was, dude on CNN. And it was very interesting. Very interesting. I'm with all of that. I see what you did there, Nate. From Ukraine to cold rain. Right. I had to make a rhyme. You know that. Tony writes, the Ukrainian president is holding out like a boss. With Russia gunning for his head, he's coming off like a national hero. Greg writes, I'm not justifying Putin's actions and bullying behavior here, or dictatorial and bullying behavior here. I'm just saying the situation is not as simple as Western media would have you believe. And that's the conclusion I came to it myself, Greg. It's a bit more complicated. And on some levels, some people are saying that the U.S. has played some role to some degree, very, very indirectly. But thank you for sharing that perspective, Greg. That's the understanding that I have come to over the weekend as well. Because I'm that kind of person. I got to do my homework before I start talking about anything, especially something in this matter. I just can't just blather on. I have to have some basis for the flow. It's got to be based on facts. And when this whole thing happened, I was caught off guard in terms of my knowledge of what was happening in the region like everybody else. And I'm still not up to speed. But I do have a much better understanding from my own education. Tony writes, the Ukraine president, I think I read it already. TNT writes, we should have never allowed him to be governor of Ohio after the miscarriage of justice to the Crawford family. You already know I said the same thing. There was no way in the hell I was going to vote for Mike DeWine. And that's why I keep saying it's such a difficult choice between Mike DeWine and maybe John Cranley and Nan Whaley, I think it is, or maybe it's not a difficult decision. I mean, just imagine we only had John Cranley, a man with no penis, and metaphorically speaking, figuratively speaking, I don't know if he does or not, and Mike DeWine, a man with no spine. What a hell of a choice. Sounds like Nan Whaley. That's what it sounds like to me. Rachel writes, are the Ukrainian refugees getting the same treatment as the people from Haiti and Afghanistan? Did you hear the person, this was a government official who, it was a media person that referred to, he said that the Ukrainians were more civilized than Afghanistanians or Iraqis. I'm like, more civilized? Huh? What you mean by that? Are they more civilized because what exactly? Explain that to me. More civilized? I didn't really understand that one. He took some heat for that shit. You know it. More civilized? I'm telling you, when things happen, people's true colors come out. The true colors come out. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. If you'd like to share your thoughts. I got a question for you right here, and I want to get your opinion about it, and your opinion will be very valuable. It's a sidebar from what we've been talking about. You know me, I always come prepared to talk about multiple things because, quite frankly, in the world that we live in, there's multiple things going on. We might talk about one topic for a while if it's hot, but there's a lot of stuff going on. But I want to get your thoughts about this. Very interesting. And I'm a little bit late on this. I could have talked about this on Friday, but we'll talk about it right now. Remember Breonna Taylor, right? She's the young woman that was the victim of a no-knock warrant down in Kentucky. Police came banging in, and she ended up getting shot. She was unarmed. Louisville Metro Police. Well, right now, one of those officers, Louisville Metro Police Detective Brett Hankinson, is on trial for wanton endangerment. Did you know that? Yeah, he's on trial right now. Trial's going on right now in Louisville. I told you, there's always things going on. And 2 women were kicked out of the courtroom. And I want to show you why they were kicked out. I just want to get your opinion. Not that we can change anything, but this is the court of public opinion. That's the court of U.S. law, but this is the court of public opinion where the rules are a little bit different. I'm going to show you an image. This image will tell you why they were kicked out. 2 women were kicked out of the courtroom because they were wearing T-shirts. Now, would the T-shirts have some kind of obscene gesture on or something like that? No, did not. Show you what the T-shirts, what was on the T-shirts here in a second. Here it is. This is an image of the two women in the t-shirts that they were wearing as they were escorted out of the courtroom. They were kicked out of the courtroom because they wore the slain woman's image on their clothing while sitting in the courtroom this week. Now, he wasn't like Brent Hankinson he's not charged with Breonna Taylor's death, but he was one of the three officers involved in the 2020 event that led to 26-year-old Breonna Taylor being killed. Brett Hankinson is being charged with wanton endangerment because he just started shooting blindly and he endangered her neighbors, Breonna Taylor's neighbors. Like a couple people almost was killed because he just was firing off shots. And the two women who were escorted out of the courtroom were none other than Breonna Taylor's mother and sister. Now, the court has its rules, and we're not going to change that. But in the court of public opinion, I'd like to get your thoughts about this. Is that going too far? Is that going to unfairly sort of impact on the jury? I mean, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. They were kicked out of the courtroom on 2 separate days after their attire honoring Breonna Taylor was deemed to be a bit too much. Is that too much and you lost your daughter? You lost your sister? That's too much? What do you think about that? 513-873-7134. If you'd like to share your thoughts. Derek writes, I don't think you can wear stuff like that in the courtroom. I get it. Either way. Like, let's say somebody was wearing a t-shirt that supported Brett Hankinson. I guess they'd be asked to leave too, but just a really sad situation here. Very sad situation. And Breonna Taylor was innocent. All this talk about innocent people in Ukraine, Breonna Taylor was innocent. She wasn't doing nothing wrong. She was asleep in bed with her boyfriend. Police come barging in. They did not announce themselves. You don't know who the hell. If somebody comes barging in your house at, some crazy hour of the morning or the evening, what are you gonna think? I just want to share that with you. 513-873-7134. Brent writes, hopefully, the prosecutor during the final arguments will have a poster-sized photo or painting of Breonna Taylor sitting on an ease. Like, what's the difference? Like, can a prosecution bring a photograph of Breonna Taylor in? Why not? But again, the issue is that he's not being charged with her murder. He's being charged with her homicide. He's being charged with wanton endangerment. So it's like, as his attorney, I wouldn't want them in there. Of course, if you are the defense attorney, absolutely not. Hey, what's up, Fast Pitch? What's up? It's been a minute. She writes, say her name. Good to see you. Nicole writes, beautiful shirts. They are beautiful shirts. Charlie Wimber's in the house. He writes, good morning, super winners. Good to see you. Good morning to you. Penisless John, right. Yeah, the former mayor had no penis. He had no stones. What did he do? What did John Cranley actually do? What did he accomplish? I don't know. Irish writes, I just saw Napoleon on Saturday at Black Wall Street in Woodline. Did you? Yeah, a lot of people know, but good brother right there, man. Good, smart, intelligent, creative brother. He's an artist. And that's, I don't know, sometimes you just kind of you just connect with people. And I would imagine that with his personality, he probably connects with a lot of people. He just has that kind of personality. Like, I can't say anybody not liking a brother. You know what I'm saying? He's just like that. You'll see. You'll see when he come on. You'll be like, damn, I like this brother. Right. You'll see. Some people are just like that. I don't have that personality. To me, it's either hit or miss, hot or cold. I get it. I learned to deal with it. Sheila writes, oh, cool. I have a friend who an author and is also ran for Congress. I'll send you her info, Nate. Yeah, absolutely. Books, anything that's interesting going on, something that you think is relevant to our community, especially something that's local. I can't see everything. I can't be everywhere. Hit me with a direct message or an email or hit me up. Let me know. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. El Grio's in the house. Good morning, good people. Good to see you. Hey, good to see you. Tony writes, when I was a kid in the late 70s, all I wanted to do was skate around on roller skates. Now my son is obsessed with wearing his roller skates and going around the house, getting his roll bounce on. Sweetness. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. When your son, and we're just talking about sons right now. My son and the love I have for my son and daughter are equal. But right now, we're just talking about sons. My boys get into basketball. As somebody who's been in the b-ball, played the game, loved the game, never really took it to a high level, organized, but on the street level, you'll get dunked on. You'll get ooped on real quick, crossed over and ooped on in a second. Now, to see him doing the same thing, like following them footsteps, I'll just be looking at him like, yeah. But see, the difference is this didn't really happen with me, but if, let's say my father had really gotten invested in that, I would have even got even better. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to do that with my boy. We already doing. You talking about we going to the park today? Pick him up early from school. We going to the park so he can shoot some hoops. He's got a new move that he learned that he want to show on me. Dad, I'm going to beat you. I'm like, are you, son? I hope so. I hope so, son. You sure will beat me. But I don't let my kids win a damn thing. I ain't gonna never let you win. I'm gonna treat you like you're an adult. Now, not in terms of physicality, but just in terms of my intensity to win. You know what I'm saying? But that's gonna happen. I can see myself, what is he, 7 now? He get about 15, 16, he gonna catch these elbows because he gotta catch it from me first. Because when he get out there with them court, they're gonna give it to him. So I gotta give it to him first. And I already know his mama ain't gonna like it, but that's what fathers do with sons. That's what I gotta hit him with them elbows. Boom, what? What you doing? I gotta manhandle him a little bit. Not to hurt him, but I want to get him prepared for what he's gonna deal with out there. And that's not toxic masculine. God damn it, don't you say that? Don't you say that? Rachel writes, gym time is the best de-stressor. Man, that's a point I made. One of the point I was just trying to get in where I could fit in, but one point I made is, working on your body is more than just the outward part of it, right? It's really all inner. You know what I'm saying? Like what happens in your gut affects what happens in your mind. You do know that, right? What happens in your stomach, what happens in your gut affects your mood, your attitude, your thinking. It affects all of that. Your mental health. It affects your mental health. So I'm with you 100%. In that same way, I'm with you. I don't call it working out. I call it self-love time. I got to show myself some love. I can show my business some love. I can show this show some love. I can show everybody else in the world I can show love. I can't take 90 minutes, an hour, 30 minutes every day to show myself some love? Huh? Gots to do it. Gots to do it. Absolutely, 100%. And if the outward appearance changes, great. The wife, you get a little something to look at. Great. A little something to hold on to. Cool. But it's all about what happens inside for me. My peoples, make sure you are spending at least as much time and money in your child's academics or you are on their athletic dreams. Oh, absolutely. The academics come first. My motto with my children is the same way as it is with me. Strong body, strong mind. Strong body, strong mind. Strong mind, strong body. We got to develop both. Absolutely. Good. Teach Bishop Ivy. Y'all funny. Bishop Ivy. Shabba writes, Nate sounded like a black poo not letting his son win. You don't let your son, I ain't let my daughter win nothing. When I was teaching her how to play chess, she finally beat me. My daughter beat me for the first time in chess when she was like 7. She just caught me sleeping, right? She was so intense with it too. I was smashing her. You don't let no kids win nothing. You beat Monopoly, card games, tic-tac-toe. I'm smashing you every single time. Okay? I ain't gonna never let you win. Video games, never. Because when you finally beat me, you won something. You actually did something. That's it. That's just me, though. That's just me. Good morning to you. Loved your clip from the Saturday event. Your message was very powerful. Speaking of men's health. Okay, thank you so much. Again, I wanted to be helpful. I wanted to be helpful to what Ashley was doing because I support the sister and I think what she's doing is fabulous. And then I just want to be helpful. You got a lot of smart people in the room. I'm just trying to get in and offer something. That was it from my own perspective. I'm glad they did it. It's a damn shame that the only charge the district attorney would indict is wanton endangerment. Such a slap in the face to the family. What about the life they actually took from their incompetent no-knock warrant? I agree with you. I'm glad they did it as well. I ain't mad at them. They got every right. If the court's going to kick him out, kick me out then. But I'm going to go in here with this T-shirt on. I'm going here with this T-shirt on. And while you might not be on trial for the homicide of my daughter, you was involved. So I'm with you on that. I'm with you 100% TNT. I ain't got no problem with it. Let me move on because I only got a short amount of time to be with you this morning. And I want to talk about some gems in the streaming world. Came across some gems over the weekend I want to share with you. And first gem I came across in no particular order is the new series called Bel Air. You watching this? It's called Bel Air, and it's a reboot of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Now, The Fresh Prince of Bel Air was the 30-minute sitcom starring Will Smith and others, right? Bel Air is a multi-series sort of, it's like a drama. And I watched those first episode just last night, and I'm hooked. First, because of nostalgia, and then secondly, because I like what they're doing with it. Aunt Vin is dark skinned, Uncle Phil dark skinned, Carlton dark skinned. I got no problem with it. I think that was a conscious decision that was made. I think the brother that's playing Will it was a good choice. He seems to be a strong actor. And there was a very interesting scene in it that involved the N-word. They were using a racial slur. So, not to spoil anything, because the series follows the narrative of the sitcom in terms of why Will is sent to Bel Air. It's very, very similar. I won't go into details. I'll let you see it for yourself. He gets out to Bel Air. Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv living good. They're living real good. They're living good. Things is good. Did I say that? At least financially, things are good. Sister went to Bel Air and she didn't hit a lick. I ain't mad at her. Uncle Phil is running for district attorney. I think in the series he was a judge, right? He's running for district attorney, so it's following those same lines. And Will is a fish out of water. You come from the streets of Philadelphia, single mom, struggling to make ends meet. Now you living in a big old house. And I'm talking about a big old house. Everything paid for. Going to Bel Air High School, which in the series is one of the best high schools in the country. I don't know if it is or not. And it was quite interesting. There's a scene in which, it was very interesting. There's a scene in which the character Carlton he's a lacrosse player. Apparently he's a pretty good lacrosse player. And see, right now, people have been on Black Twitter and on social media going hard at the character, not the brother that plays the character. Because in the first episode, they kind of made him look like he was like a sellout. As a matter of fact, that's what Will Smith, played by Jabari Banks. Carlton is played by Olai Sholatan. Both pretty strong actors. I mean, so far, the acting seems to be pretty strong from everybody. I don't have any complaints from any of them. And, okay, so here's the scene. So they're in the locker room. It's a high school. They're in the scene. I love the soundtrack too. The soundtrack is hip hop. The language is adult. That's my kind of show. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, there's a scene in the locker room and they playing Bobby Schmurder's Heart Number. You know that song? It's super dope. You know you like it. Quit lying to yourself. Anyway, but if you know anything about that song, the N-word is part of lyrics. And so you got this scene where you've got these white high schoolers who, in the presence of their black classmates and teammates, are using the N-word, which conjures up an age-old debate about whether white people can use the N-word, right? I liked it. Jabari Banks confronted everybody right then on the spots. I ain't letting this go. We're gonna talk about this right here, right now. He's like, ho, y'all can't be using the N-word. You ain't gonna do this around me. Carlton like comes to their defense, like, man, you just got out here, man. It's just a word. Now, how you gonna get mad? Because rap artists are using the N-word, but they're selling their music to the suburbs. So of course, white kids are gonna use it too, right? Age-old argument we've had many times before, but Will wasn't having it. He's like, nah, not around me. Y'all ain't from the culture. It was very, very interesting. What I read later, there's a very interesting article on insider.com. Matter of fact, let me get this link for you and I'll share it. Because smart, intelligent people like to read things for themselves, right? I know I do. I'll read that shit for myself. All right. I'm sharing on all the different platforms where we're streaming right now, all the video platforms. You can check it out for yourself. This article I'm about to talk about. It's in Insider Magazine. Here's the title. Bel Air star Oli Sholatan says a scene where a group of white students sings a song with a racial slur made an actor uncomfortable to participate in. So here they are acting and they getting their feelings on the set. That's how real this is. And it all happens in the first episode. I haven't even got to the second episode, but I told the wifey I'm hooked. That's our thing now. So I'm, you know how it is. When you're a couple, you watch shit together. What else we got to do? Well, we got kids. We got a 7-year-old. Well, that's our fun, okay? Among other things. But I like it. I'm with the business already. I'm with it. The Shmoney Dance. Remember that? Can you do the Shmoney Dance? Everybody's tried to do the Shmoney Dance at least once. I'm guilty of it. I tried. I can do it too. You want to see me do it now? Cue the music. I'm joking. Copyright infringement. I couldn't play it anyway if I wanted to. Or I could, but I had to deal with we could probably get away with it. I don't know. So it conjured up that age-old question about whether white kids, because they listen to hip-hop, that gives them a license to use the N-word, right? These rap artists know who their audience is. They know their audience is in the suburbs. Yeah, black kids too, but they know who their audience is. Then do you have license to use? I thought it was very interesting. And so that became like a friction point, and maybe it will remain a friction point between Will, who's from the hood, from the streets of Philadelphia, and Carlton, who's been growing up privileged with the white folks in Bel Air. I thought it was interesting. And I can't wait to see how this develops. Now, Oli Sholatan, who plays Carlton Banks, his character's been taking some heat ever since that first episode came out. He's like, simmer down now, just wait. There's a character arc here, and you'll end up loving Carlton in the end. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I thought it was interesting. That's a gem right there. If you haven't tapped into that and you are able to, I'm not even sure is it on Peacock? I've got this Fire Stick. So, don't tell nobody. So I get a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? But just keep it on the low between you and I. Rachel writes, Jeffrey in the new Bel Air ain't the butler we knew from the original. No, he is not. And I'm not sure who the producers are. I haven't done that kind of legwork and checking into it. But whoever did it, they did their homework. Like, a lot of this was done with intentionality. Like, if you remember, when the first Aunt Vivian, who was a dark-skinned sister, was replaced by the light-skinned sisters, black folks had a problem. And I'm like, they do this reboot, everybody dark-skinned now? I'm like, that ain't by accident. It adds to the tapestry. It adds to the texture of what's going on here. I know it's a subtlety, But I'm just saying, I don't know if it's just me, but it adds to it. And I think it was done with a lot of intentionality. That's what I think. But let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Nathan. It's Nicole. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Nicole. Good morning to you.
Good morning. So your topic here, it just sparked some thought on that subject, and I haven't seen Bel Air yet. I heard about it. So you saying this, I'm definitely going to take time to watch it. I did hear that it's really good, so I'm definitely going to check it out. But just thinking in terms of that particular episode and the use of the N word, and that's and that's a good way to like have that conversation, because we do come back to it, and it's this battle, inner battle between our own community, like it's how it should be used, should it even be used, and definitely when it comes to other people outside the community, like how do we combat that and fight this argument about, well, the use of it and why we use it. Quite honestly, I feel like it's lipstick on the pig. You can't really, dress it up. You can't say because you drop the ER and put A, it's still all the same. It's still all dehumanizing. That's what it was. It was created in a way to dehumanize us so it'd be easier to lynch and do all the things they did to Black people. It's a lot of our ancestors, the last word they heard was die, N-word die. You know what I mean? And then you think about in terms of, where we are now and, the gun violence, and we're repeating the words of our oppressor. I'm sure we're repeating the same thing before we pull the trigger on our own people. So for me, I'm cool on it. I'm not trying to be some moral authority because I know it's part of the culture, it's part of the music. And so it's just so entrenched, it's hard to let it go. But at the same time, it's just like, if you could just make a conscious effort to minimize your use of it to the point where it is just minimized, then it would be a better pull than just trying to make excuses for it and saying hey, no, it's a term of endearment, this and that, whatever. It may be that to a degree, but at the same time, it just caused so much pain, and it continues to cause pain in a way. But what I was thinking about was that episode of Dave Chappelle. We remember how he kind of took a hiatus, and he was just saying how it was a certain skit or situations on his Dave Chappelle show that just started making him uncomfortable. Kind of the same way he was talking about the actors taking offense to this particular episode. And it had dawned on me, like, this whole thing with Joe Rogan. You remember he did a episode with Joe Rogan on there, and he was acting like a crackhead. And he was like, Joe Rogan, there's something you don't know about me. I smoke crack. You know what I'm saying? He had the powder and stuff all over his lip, everything else. And I could just imagine after that cut, I mean, Joe Rogan just laughed and his stairs like, that's so funny. That's so funny. He's just like, no, it ain't that funny. He's just like, and now that we know that Joe Rogan had this whole, thing and calling people N-words and monkeys and everything else all around the same time, it's coming full circle. And I wonder if one of those individuals that Dave Chappelle just kind of felt like, he laughing a little bit too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like making fun of ourselves, and then, turn around and other communities is really laughing at us, and not just laughing at us, but taking it in because that they feel like there's a slight truth about it, about people of color. And so, we got to be careful with these things. It's a fine line. I mean, everyone joking kid or we say things, but it's just it is, a very challenging conversation to have. But at the same time, if we don't stand firm on the ground on what we won't accept and what we will accept, then, it's just stand for something or fall for anything. People will say anything, do anything, and it's just all disrespect. And other communities, they're not having it. I don't know why we can't collectively just come to an agreement on certain things no, I don't need Jay-Z and different ones trying to, protect somebody when they using the N-word and on stage or whatever, oh no, she cool, no, you know what I'm saying? Because it offends one, it offends all. So we just got to be more of a, collective force on what our standards are, basically. But that's all I got, brother. If there's anything else you got to say.
All right, thank you so much, TNT.
All right.
Yep, most def. That's TNT checking in. Appreciate the call. Said that she'll check it out. Yeah, I mean, that's just a suggestion. Check it out. I've enjoyed it so far. Just one episode. I'm like, oh, okay. I like this. And then, I'm of that generation growing up watching Will. You know what I'm saying? I used to look at Will on that show as like an example, fashion wise, things like that. It was just different. And that was the beginning of Will Smith. So Tony writes, Will Smith company is doing the show. He's doing a great job. Doing a great job. Sheila writes, Fire Sticks with Blue TV is the bomb. No high cable bills for me. Politically Petty writes, Racker. Regina writes, love the Butler's actor's awesome accent. Is that right? I know that, again, I'm not even caught into this because I'm not a woman, but I know that some women were looking at Uncle Phil like, yeah, apparently he's getting a following on social media. Great for him. Great for that brother. 513-873-7134. The other thing that I watch is Genius. It's a documentary of Kanye West. It's on Netflix. And who knew that through all this time, this brother had a video camera following him? I'll tell you something, man. I mean, who wasn't a fan of Kanye West's music? College Dropout? Come on, man. You're talking about classic hip-hop music. You hear Kanye West music so classic, you hear it on a whole bunch of commercials to this day. Whole bunch of commercials. Everybody's sampling this stuff, man. And if you haven't tapped into Yeezus, basically they pick up with Kanye when he was in Chicago. He had already made a name for himself as a producer in Chicago, won a couple of Grammy Awards, that and the other. He's making some money, making a name for himself, but he hasn't blown up. And he had worked on his first album, but it hadn't been put out yet. And so it's very interesting to watch it because I was deep into Kanye when he dropped, super deep like everybody else was, right? It's very interesting to hear him like playing the music behind the scenes before it broke. And then you hear these songs, and these songs are hits. It's very interesting. And the brother just had an unbelievable drive and belief in himself, along with a lot of creativity and talent, God-given creativity and talent. There's also some very intimate, very, very intimate moments between him and his mother. Now, it's only 3 parts to it. There's only 3 episodes. And the 3rd episode won't be released, I think, until sometime later this week. So you only got 2 episodes. And I'm halfway through the 2nd episode, but I wanted to share it with you because, again, I waste my time and my money so you don't. So I had the time of the weekend to catch up on a couple things, popped up with a Fire Stick. I mean, I've got Netflix on all my devices right now and got a chance to tap into it. And I thought it was worth my time, especially if you're from that generation. Like if you like Kanye, oh, you're going to love it because you're seeing behind the scenes, like he is who he is. He's the same dude. And money just made him more of who he already was. He was super arrogant. If you want, I call him just confident. I don't mind arrogant black men. I got no problem with arrogant. We need more arrogant black men. As long as their arrogance is justified because they actually did something. If you just arrogant just for the hell of it and you ain't did shit, I mean, go sit your ass down somewhere. But if you actually out here doing something, I'm with the business. I'm with it. I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was very, very interesting. And as a Kanye West, I'm nobody's fan other than myself and my friends and family. Like my friends, I'm their fans, my family members. But so I won't say fan, but somebody who really enjoyed his music. He has has a classic catalog, classic songs. And to see where he started in the behind the scenes and what was going on. I mean, there's a scene of him going to Rockefeller Records, all studios, the offices / studios, maybe it's just the offices. And he's playing his album for people. And people are hearing it for the first time, and it's very interesting to see their reaction to it. Some people were kind of like, some people jumped onto it quick, like, oh, that's hot right there. Some really dope stuff. Jesus Walks, classic. They'll be playing that way long after we're dead, if human beings are still around. We're probably going to F it all up and destroy ourselves. But if human beings are around 200 years from now, they're still going to be rocking some of his music because it's timeless. It's timeless. But I thought it was very interesting. The kid writes, Shaka Khan was hot. She was hot. She felt like that Kanye West destroyed her song, but I disagree with her completely. If anything, he just elevated her music. Because number one, you're getting checks, right? I hope Shaka Khan got checks because that was her song. I'm not sure if she was producer or not. But number two, it just made people more aware of that sound. And I don't know about you, but like when people sample music, like historically great music, like Shaka Khan, timeless music, it just gives you a greater appreciation for the original, in my opinion. That's how I look at it. But yeah, she was hot. Janice writes, Kanye gets in his own way. Yeah, he does. A little bit. Tiffany writes, just think of it as the great footage we have if other artists start the documents they start. I'm enjoying the doc thus far, right? And I don't know if it was Kanye, it was the brother who was behind the camera whose idea it was. He said, I'm gonna get this camera and just document everything because I think this brother gonna pop and I'll have something valuable. But we'll see how far it goes, because Kanye, one of the biggest names in the world in terms of music. One of the biggest in the world. He definitely created his own lane, his own sound. I know he crazy now and he's pro-Trump and this whole thing between Kim Kardashian. I mean, later for all that, if a woman chooses a certain man, let her choose that man and move on. There's too many women out here to be caught up with just one woman, although I get it, feelings involved. I'm married. I get it. I'm just saying though, y'all ain't together no more. She moved on with somebody else. Let her move on. It's just that simple. Let her move on. College Dropout was the bomb CD, but Kanye in his clothes is getting the R. Kelly Bill Cosby treatment on the no playlist. But have to admit, I was a huge Kanye West fan. Same here. College Dropout was super tight. Super tight. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't hip to it at first. I wasn't hip to it some other brothers. It might have been like, I'm trying to think who turned me on to Ye. You going back to 2004. Where was I in 2004? I can't remember where I was. Somebody turned me on to it. Like, hey, you hip to that Kanye? I'm like, no. Let me look at some of the songs on here. You got Graduation Day, I'll Fly Away, Jesus Walks. Stop right there. Stop. Jesus Walks. And people are always saying that there is no God in hip hop. That hip hop ain't spiritual. Hip hop is very spiritual. These hip artists believe in God like everybody else do, but it may not be the song they get the most notoriety for. Typically somebody comes out with a full album, let's say it's 10 to 16 tracks, and people only focus on the hits. Get Them High, the new workout plan, Breathe In, Breathe Out, All Files Down, Spaceship. I mean, it just goes on and on. Slow Jams, Family Business. He got a whole bunch of just really dope songs on that first album. And that's what he had just finished in the documentary, but College Dropout hadn't dropped yet. So he's a producer. You see him get his Rockefeller chain, much bigger than this one. My daughter gave me this, so I wear it. My daughter gave me this for Christmas, I think it was. So, I got to show love to medium Buddha. She'll be big Buddha soon. That girl, man. Y'all didn't tell me about teenagers. Y'all are remissing y'all duties. I got a teenage daughter, man. She's every bit a teenager too. All the good. Just no bad, really. There's no bad in it at all. It's just worry and frustration. That's all it is. Some of you are empty nesters. You already went through this. I'm just going through it right now. And then I'll have to do it again in 10 more years with my son. But it is what it is. Greg writes, Shaka did not like the way Kanye did her song. Right, she did not. I did not even know that. I try to keep up with hip hop. I learn something new every day thanks to your show. Good, that's why we're here. Yeah, she wasn't a big fan of it. She felt like it destroyed her song. And I can get it. If you're an artist and you create something and it's widely accepted, then it's a masterpiece just like it is. And somebody come along and sample it and change it, for you, you're still stuck on the original masterpiece. For me, I think that's the way that music is these days. It's just the way music is these days. It really is. So I thought it helped her. It made her more relevant because the song was so hot. TNT writes, the fact that he was dead broke in the beginning, producing music for the hottest celebrities. He had a session with Lil' Kim and couldn't afford the cab to the studio, so he ran 12 blocks without knowing he couldn't afford the cab, and look at him now. If I was him, I'd do the same damn thing. If I got to run 150 blocks to meet Lil' Kim, to work with Lil' Kim, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Cass writes, College Dropout is still one of my favorite albums. Mine too. Good morning to you, Cass. Mine too. Classic. Nat writes, Yeezy's production of Jay-Z Common songs was classic along with his first albums. His politics are BS though, right? Musically, genius. He just produced that Pusha T album that just dropped. Gold Digger, right? That comes on another album. Right, Gold Digger, classic. Sheila writes, teenage daughters are different. I'm learning right now. Medium Buddha, different. She different. She different. I just look at the wifey sometime and she just look at me. And we worked out this thing, non-verbally where we can communicate, right? Sometimes Media Buddha will say something, do something. I just look at her. And my son, oh my God, we just had a parent-teacher conference on Wednesday. This boy chose Wednesday to do something crazy at school. I'm like, what was you thinking, man? We're about to meet your teacher. He's like, oh, I forgot about that. I bet you did. It's like, oh, I forgot about that. This boy. But that's kids, though. I did all the things they're doing and a whole lot more. Janice writes, yep, been through it 4 times. Angela writes, I'm an empty nester, have been for years. Ain't nothing like it. Yes. I like to say I'm close, but I'm not. I'm not close. Tiffany writes, I love the scenes with his mom. Also, the one with him in the studio with Jay-Z and how we got on one of Jay-Z's songs. Yeah, I thought that now that we know his mother passed away and what he's doing with Donda, that's the name of his latest album. That's his mother's first name. And she says, hey, I'm Donda. It was very intimate. To see that mother-son relationship. And she loved her some Kanye. She loved it. You could tell he loved him. He loved his mama too, because, when you're around your mama, you're different. I miss that. See, y'all gonna make me tear up because, my mother just passed away. But, when you're around your mama, that's something different. I miss that. I'm never going to have that again. But it's just a different feeling when you're in the presence of your parents. Right. And the relationship between a mother and a son, especially if she was like in your life and was like really mom. I mean, there's nothing like it. And you can see it on his face. At least I thought I could see it on his face. It was very, very intimate, very special. And I'm sure they left that in and made sure that was in because of the fact that she passed and all this kind of stuff. So, but that's what I got for you this morning, folks. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I plan to be back in better than ever tomorrow morning, bright and early at 8 a.m. We'll chop it up. I gave you a heads up on a couple of the interviews I've got slated. Daryl, I'll get to that story tomorrow for sure, bro. I'll get to that story tomorrow because I want to give it justice. I want to make sure I know exactly what my angle is. But I appreciate you. I'll definitely get to it this week. I plan to get to it tomorrow. But again, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. Hopefully this is the start of a great week for you. You're going to get a lot accomplished this week. You're going to get all your goals in this week. Make it a momentous Monday. And remember our motto. Winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning. And we'll talk real soon. Have a great rest of your Monday. And we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. Damn.
that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a fuck, that's what they don't understand.
Back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a fuck, I don't care. Did the shit by my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my cut, on my told him it's nothing. In the discussion, all them feelings I throw on my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you all my spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talking about old. I'm on they now, can't get a pass now. I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. It's trash now, I'ma spaz out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs. You see in the skies the proof. You could just see in my eyes that there is no lies. I cannot disguise the truth.